how much money do you really need to retire in Singapore? And I fully understand there is no one size fit all answer. And even though the numbers I presented today, there will be people who really disagree with the number. So I can only say that this can be 80% reasonable. And I'm very sure when I say 80% reasonable, some of you belong to the 20% and you will disagree. But I think let's end the debate once and for all. It really depends on your spending habits, which is common sense. And these numbers are not from ChatGPT or AI. I really work out on these numbers my own. So it's my own original idea. So the basis of how I set this retirement number is based on median salary or median income. And these are annual statistics published by the Ministry of Manpower, Singapore. So like I said, it's a median salary, which means that you will live a median lifestyle. You will not live a very frugal lifestyle or a very luxurious lifestyle. It's somewhere in the middle where most people will be living on. And if you really disagree with the calculations, I welcome you to debate in my Telegram group of close to 22,000 members. Then you can tell me your points. Then you can tell me why you disagree, and I can also share with you the rationale behind it. Okay, so join us at Honey Money SG Telegram. So with our basis, we take a look at 2024 MOM median income statistics, and that is a monthly income of $5,500 inclusive of employer's CPF contribution. So if you're curious about 2025, the numbers will not be out until next year when they finalize it. So you just add a little bit of inflation lah, if you want to calculate for 2025. But let's use 2024 numbers of 5,500 median income. I guess the first question you should ask is 5,500 per month as a retirement income. Is that reasonable or not? I would think yes, because if you just take at the median salary worker, it's a rather decent salary even in 2025. And I'm very sure fresh grads, if you can get $5,500, you will laugh to the bank already. In this economy, in this climate, and as a retiree, I'm very sure you spend much less money compared to when you're working full-time, because there will be big ticket items like your wedding, your housing, renovation, all fully paid, and maybe your children and your descendants have all grown up, so they don't need your financial support anymore at retirement age. So using this 5,500 per month multiplied by 12, you'll get an annual income of 66,000 Singapore dollars per year. So this will be our basis. And let's use the very popular 4% withdrawal rule, which many of you may not be aligned with, but I'll talk more on that later. So 66,000 divided by 4% will come up to 1.65 million Singapore dollars. And this is the amount per individual. And I know that 4%, some of you say is not conservative enough. So let's reduce it to 3% safe withdrawal rate. So 66 divided by 3% will come up to $2.2 million per individual. So is that good enough for you? For our range right now, for a single individual, annual expenses per year $66,000 based on median income 5.5K, you need a retirement portfolio of 1.65 to 2.2 million Singapore dollars. Is that reasonable enough? Let's move on to couple for those of you who have partners. And I can tell you that partners doesn't mean you need to double that individual, because you will enjoy economies of scale like fixed costs that can be shared. This includes housing or rental or utilities and maintenance, that all these are shared expenses. You one person incur versus two-person incur, the difference is not much one. So then we will just add 50% to the retirement portfolio number. And using a 4% safe withdrawal rate case, 1.65 multiplied by 1.5 will give you 2.475. We round that up to 2.5 million per couple. And then if you are using the 3% safe withdrawal rate example, we will just take 2.2 multiplied by 1.5, and that will be $3.3 million per couple. So there you have it as a couple. If you want 80% reasonable retirement portfolio number, that will be 2.5 million to 3.3 million Singapore dollars of retirement portfolio that you should have for 80%. And of course, this is based on 2024 median income numbers. For 2025, you will have to adjust the number upwards according to whatever the inflation rate or the salary increment is. Similarly, if we take a look 5 years ago, in year 2020, back when the median income was only $4,534. So if we just do a math calculation, 4,534 divided by 5.5K is only 82.4% of 2024's numbers. And if we do a back calculation in 2020, you will only need 1.36 million to 1.81 million per individual for a reasonable retirement. So you see how fast these salary figures inflate over the years. And this is based on the assumption that all this retirement portfolio is in investable assets like in stocks or unit trusts, investment property, cryptocurrency, precious metals, business equity. All these are considered investments and definitely does not include your own state property or your CPF below the full retirement sum. Why do I not include the CPF? Because I felt that CPF is primarily for retirement payout known as CPF Life from age 65. And since it only starts at 65, it is perfect as a bonus in case your retirement calculations fail and it's not accurate. At least you have this bonus coming from 65 onwards. So to be conservative, we should not include it first and just treat it as a bonus when you turn 65 onwards. Therefore, if we assume median income to grow by 4% from 2024 to 2025, we can just add a 4% adder to our current numbers. And using the same calculation, we will come up to a range of 1.72 million to 2.3 million in 2025 numbers. Okay, this is the retirement portfolio that you should have as an individual. I hope that this is considered a reasonable framework and calculation, and all these numbers will change with time depending on when you decide to retire, because the median income is always going up, right? By right, your retirement portfolio number should also go up in the same trend. And if you also want to support this channel, you can also click the Interactive Brokers link or scan the QR code if you find my calculations objective and accurate and a good guideline for you. Okay, it comes with you at no cost. You just click, I get some support. So why do I use this framework? Is because all these retirement calculations is not based on hearsay. It's based on real actual statistics and based on the real median wage of salaried workers. And it will go up over time and will scale up over time. I think it's accurate enough for 80% of the people. But let's not make this video content like a sell anxiety kind of thing. Like if you don't have means you're not enough. Because it just means that you are not able to afford that kind of median lifestyle. But you can afford a relatively simple lifestyle, right? A more frugal living. But is that what you want or not? And for those of you who prefer luxurious living, definitely this number is not enough for you. And I can fully understand. So you go and work on your own numbers. Okay, don't force your projections on other people, just like I won't force these projections on you. So hopefully this is reasonable for at least 80% of the people out there and you can agree with it. So if you really agree, you can put agree +1. And if you disagree, you think these numbers are way off, way out of calculation, you can go and put disagree +1. Then you provide some rationale on how I can improve and how this can be worked on better. Okay, don't just say disagree, then you don't write anything, then how we improve together, right? And if you also want to look at a more financial independence related video, I can refer you to a previous video that you can see right here.